Hey everyone, Nebulous Dungeon here again, bringing you part 38 of my Deus Ex Human Revolution Foxes of the Hounds playthrough. In this part, we have just landed at the Panchea facility, and in this part, this is going to be the first part of getting through the facility and eventually getting to the final boss battle. And it will actually be part 41 of the series that is the final boss battle, and I show you guys the sorry, the achievement for Foxiest of the Hounds. So looking forward to that. And the topic that I wanted to talk about today is actually Kevin Smith, the filmmaker. And if you're unaware of who Kevin Smith is, he's made some really funny movies, and he actually got his start with the movie Clerks. And if you haven't seen it, it's a classic film. It's on Netflix. I'm fairly certain it's on Netflix, and I definitely recommend checking it out. Yeah, it's a really funny movie. And excuse me, considering the fact that Kevin Smith was 23 when he made it, and there are documented stories that and Q&As where he's said that he racked up 20 something like 23 grand in credit card debt just to make the movie, which is something I couldn't even imagine having the balls to do. And I just I'm just really in awe of what he was able to accomplish, and have a great deal of respect for him. And like I said, Clerks was his very first movie. I believe the next movie that he made was Mallrats, which I haven't seen yet. And the movie after that, which has actually become one of my favorite movies, was Chasing Amy. And I think this is one of the movies where I think this was one of Ben Affleck's first movies, if I recall correctly. I'm not 100% certain on that. Don't quote me on that. But Ben Affleck actually gave a pretty damn good performance in this movie. And basically, Ben Affleck plays this comic book writer who falls for this chick who happens to be a lesbian, and then basically the rest of the movie is him pursuing a relationship with this girl. And it's a pretty funny movie, and there's a lot of touching moments in it as well. So that one is also, I'm fairly certain that one is also on Netflix, so definitely recommend checking that movie out. And his most recent film to have come out that I really enjoyed was Red State. And the premise behind Red State is he based his characters in the movies in the movie on the individuals in the Westboro Baptist Church. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with who the Westboro Baptist Church is, you are much more fortunate than I. But I'm going to make you aware of they're the people that protest at funerals of soldiers and gay people and things like that, with signs that say God hates fags and all this other just hateful nonsense. And in the movie, the characters that the churchy characters that he created are based on the individuals in the Westboro Baptist Church, if it was taken up, if it was like multiplied times like 100 as far as the insanity level of these wackos. Excuse me. That's the characters in the movie. That's the church characters in the movie Red State. And it's a phenomenal film, very well acted. Kevin Smith's very gorgeous wife is in the movie, and if you've ever seen Kevin Smith's Q&A session Burn in Hell, which is also on Netflix, he talks about how his wife is very, very much not tolerant of what she calls church people because of um, a lot of like hatred and rocks being thrown through the windows and everything like that. When sorry about that. Um, when Kevin was making the film Dogma, and when Dogma was released, and so she is not, in Kevin's own words, she is not remotely tolerant of what she calls church people. And I thought it was very, very, very ironic and interesting that in the film, she played one of the church members of this Wacko Basket church. Now, I'm not sure if it's because she wanted to, or if he asked her to and she begrudgingly agreed to do so. The one thing that I will say is, at no point in the movie does she have any dialogue that I can recall. I don't think she has one word of dialogue in the movie. So I'd be curious to know if that was done on purpose by Kevin. But it's definitely a very interesting film. And if you're into like Kevin Smith basically calls it a horror film, and it is. It's terrifying to think that while there aren't people that are exactly like these churchy people in this movie that would go around killing people, but there are people that exist like the Westboro Baptist Church who like genuinely feel this way towards like gay people and people that just don't agree with their beliefs, and it is a terrifying thing to think about and realize that these people are just a bunch of automatic weapons away from causing a real shitstorm. And it's taken me a long time just to get to this point, but I recently purchased Kevin Smith's book, Tough Shit, Life Advice from a Fat, Lazy Slob Who Did Good. And basically, he doesn't hide anything in the title. The book is exactly what the title talks about. It's just basically him giving advice on how he's became successful, and specifically he became successful in the film industry, of course. But the advice that he offers pretty much applies to anything. And I'll actually read an excerpt from the book if you just give me one moment. And this is actually my favorite line in the book so far. I've only read the first couple chapters so far, but I'm thoroughly enjoying what he's written. And here's the passage that I wanted to read. In the face of such hopelessness as our eventual, unavoidable death, there is little sense in not at least trying to accomplish all of your wildest dreams in life. Let me include a strong exception. If your wildest dreams are to hunt humans or kill children, I'm not talking to you. Please draw no hidden sociopathic meaning from my words. Life is fragile and painful enough, so don't hurt people, asshole. And, that's just, that just perfectly sums up, just the kind of person that, Kevin Smith is. He's, if you've seen interviews with him, if you've watched any of his Q&As, he's just a genuinely good-hearted, kind dude, and he's pretty damn funny as well. And he's able to, and I think he does an uncanny job in finding humor in even the darkest of places, and that's why I'm looking forward to finishing reading this book. And even when he talks about the death of his father, as horrible and tragic as the story itself is, that's part of where that passage that I read to you came from. Is his father went out screaming. His father died screaming, and his father was a good dude and didn't deserve to go out like that. And basically that's Kevin's message to anyone that will listen to him is, if a good man like his father is going to die screaming, is going to go out screaming, then like he said, there's no point in not trying to accomplish every wildest dream that you have. And that is probably the one of the greatest pieces of advice anybody can ever give to you about anything. You know, with the obvious exceptions that I included in that passage. So that's why I will forever be a Kevin Smith fan and forever respect him and appreciate him as a man, a human being, and a filmmaker. And this is just going to about wrap up the video, guys. Thanks for watching, and feel free to check out the other videos in the series if you're new here. And other than that, I will talk to you guys later. Peace.